stranger, all willing and able to do what you want. You think I'm a thing.
Good morning, Smarter Options. Ice King here. Start taking a look at futures. If you guys in the chat last night, I told you guys I thought there'd be resistance right here. What this represents, okay, with this, I drew this one. We'll delete that. But what this line represents right here is the previous day open, close, plus close divided by 2, okay? So it's just the average of yesterday's open and close. But whenever you look at that, okay, you're going to see that the previous day average of the stock move will act as a resistance or a support. Okay. You can see here several times it's interacted with it. And that's what happened again here. It was building right here underneath. We broke through, came down and rested, and it fell down a little bit. Okay. If this can stay above 43, let's just say 43.59, we might be able to stay green. But then we see. Don't get your hopes up. Okay, there's a lot of selling pressure. A lot of selling pressure, and a lot of people think it's going to keep going red. So just be aware, right? It's kind of hard to get this mindset, but especially with like the SPY, right? Now, stocks, we're used to this. We're used to this choppiness. With the SPY, what usually happens is we're just used to this bullish run. It just keeps going. I mean, it pulls back and it just buys up and continues. So be careful with that mindset, okay? Because look at this. I mean, this is a lot bigger drop off than what we're used to. So we just have to make sure, and we haven't had a 200 EMA touchback for a long time on the SPY. Okay, and it's been it's been well over a year, I bet. We almost had one a year ago, almost. Okay. Before that, when we had one in June of 2020. Okay, so it's been a long time. And this pullback is due, this pullback is healthy. And if you buy some puts and it continues to drop, some good opportunity. I mean, look how much faster this drops off than when it climbs, right? So, I mean, we're at, just to give you guys an idea here, we are at the same price this was at back in July, okay? We literally fell back, August, September, so 2 months in a couple weeks. This is kind of one of those things we tell you guys, at some point here we'll make really good money here, because when stuff does fall and you buy puts, you can make money a lot faster because things fall faster usually than what they climb. All right, take a look here. There's probably not a lot to look at, guys. I mean, we kind of saw the chart yesterday. They're all going to look the same. So we'll just briefly go through this, okay? Apple dropped off. I mean, the breakout, and excuse all my charts. I need to clear this up. I'll get that cleaned up here this weekend, or this week sometime. You can see this longer pattern here, though. It broke out, and then it reversed with the SPY here, and it's come crashing down. Okay. Also on the 100 EMA, I'd watch for the MACD to try and go positive if it can go positive. I'm going to sit on a lot of I might buy a couple puts today just for fun, just in case it drops, but I'm going to sit pretty tight here for a minute and watch how the market opens. Well, you can see some stuff is gapping up this morning. A lot of stuff is gapping up. Okay. But just remember, even a dead cat bounces. Here was AMC, had a breakout until he reversed, came back in, touched the previous wedge, and rocketed down. AMD yesterday, and AMD could be in for a big fall. Okay, because unless it reverses here, but look at this huge pattern. That's a long pattern. Yeah, we'll have to see here, but that's a long pattern. This would take a long time to play out. But this could be in for trouble short term. Now it is, like I said, this was a drop with the market, so we might see this get bought up back up, and it could very well enter back into this, and then we have to just watch it. Yeah, Etsy, I can do that. I also got the comments up on YouTube, guys. If you just want to type in YouTube, that's fine too. Oh, let's look at Etsy real quick. What did you have on Etsy? So here you can see we had a wedge building. Or actually, this is just an upward channel. Excuse me. I always really had an upward channel here going. It wasn't. I tried to break out here the other day, but couldn't. And now we had a breakdown. Okay. Measure the height of this. Oops. Measure the height of that at the point of breakdown. And that's exactly where it fell to before bouncing, which is also the 20 EMA. Like I said, guys, I love charts. I love how this stuff works. But that breakdown would have been anticipated. That's nice. I mean, like I said, but I would say normally anticipated. Like I said, yesterday with the market, who knows what's going to happen. So I don't take that the wrong way. When those huge sell-offs happen, it'll reverse everything. And that's the dangerous part with being in weekly options. Okay, if you have too much of your account in weekly options, like options that expire this week, if you bought them on Monday, all it takes is an event like yesterday. What if that happened today? And say you loaded up on your entire account on stuff that looked like it was going to break out on Monday, and then what if that pullback would have happened today on fears of the China housing market, real estate market? You know what I mean? It would have crushed you, and there would be no time to recover. So that can be the dangerous with weekly options. Like I said, a lot of the stuff's trying to bounce up this morning. We'll just have to see if it's real. The market's so used to bounce these quick recoveries lately. That might be what a lot of people are expecting, but like I said, I'd wait for confirmation. Here you can see Facebook is a lot of this stuff is probably pulling up right to a resistance. And then we just have to see if it can break through at market open. Anything else you guys want to see? Let me pull up. We look at Google. That's probably the same. And here's some of that false. I mean, here's like I said, that crazy stuff that was happening the other day. Here was a wedge. Here was a false breakdown, and then it ripped up, and then it reversed. Okay. NVIDIA. I'm going to imagine NVIDIA looks similar to what AMD did. See, not as big of a wedge as AMD's wedge was a little bit more prominent, but you can still see we were in a pattern here. Okay. And we broke down right here. Okay, short-term fall right here, which is where it hit. If you want to see where more potential is, you go back to the back of the wedge here, and I mean it's showing that it has a little bit more potential to fall, but it hit that first price target and is reversing, right? But also remember, guys, when we break down through a support, a lot of times we come back up and we touch to confirm resistance, and that is sometimes the ideal entry. PFE, yeah, let's look at PFE real quick. Pfizer, yeah, you're right. That one, I mean, yes and no, right? It hasn't tanked yesterday, but still sitting close to the 100 EMA, which is exactly where all the other stuff is sitting. and it hasn't really tanked per se, right? But I mean, it was a high 52, now it's down to 44. So it's lost 20% of its value since August 18th. So in the last month, it's lost 20% of its value. But you're right, it didn't have as big of a drop yesterday. So that's kind of interesting. So there's some rumors coming out with, they're going to require boosters and stuff like that. So people might think that Pfizer's got a big income source coming in. A big prop up. News. Okay, SQ. Somebody's asking about in Discord. So here I was charting a breakout that was forming over a couple days. It hit, kept going up, and now it's reversed. SQ is, it's still, so just like some of those other stocks I showed you. So once again, we're around the 100 EMA. Okay, so even though we didn't get a huge tank, we're already sitting at the 100 EMA. And we have resistance right here at yesterday's open. Okay, that's where I would expect resistance at yesterday's open, which would be right there around 251.75. Okay, so we just have to see if it can break through right there. Now, technically, this was going into a daily breakout yesterday, which would explain the gap up this morning. Okay, but just on a small, quick daily level here, our salient trades. That's right where the price is about to. Okay. So you can see this little wedge that formed yesterday, and then it broke out going into the close. With the SPY yesterday, you guys might have saw me take calls in the last 10 minutes and thought it was dumb. But you got to remember, SPY is open for 15 minutes after close. And I saw this big buy candle right here, and I realized what was happening was you had a bunch of shorts covering their positions. Okay. So that's why I bought those into the close yesterday. And they all went up, I started taking trims, I think at like 20%, but ended up being almost 100% on a couple of them. And then I ended up buying a couple more because this pulled back for a second. So I bought a couple of calls that were already in the money for 91 cents, and I sold those at $1.42 or something like that, and $1.28 was my last one. So 50% returns on those. A little bit better than 50. But that's why I bought that. I saw these going, and I took the bet that these were shorts covering their position for the end of this huge, huge red day. Anything else you guys want to see? Please like and subscribe. The new YouTube. Don't have a lot of followers yet. I'm sure we'll get there. Oh, someone asked about Walmart yesterday. And Walmart looked just like the SPY did, right? It was getting bought up into the close. A lot of these stocks, guys, sitting around the 100 EMA. That seems like the pretty common denominator here. Twitter, we looked at Tesla. Let's look at Tesla real quick. Now this wouldn't have, but you wouldn't, you could have still grabbed this right here, a put at open. I would have recommended it just because you never know what's going to happen at open, right? We talked about that. It was landed on a support, opened on a support. You can see it got bought up, and then the bears came in and pushed it back down. That's a very bearish candle right here. Okay. This means that the bulls tried to come in strong, and the bears knocked them back down. It's a hammer. That's an inverted hammer, whatever. So that's a very bearish candle. You could have taken a put possibly on that. And then when it started to break the 20 EMA, but same thing. People started covering their with how fast the markets rebounded, right? They tried to cover some of their shorts yesterday going into the close. All right, guys, if you don't have anything else you want to see, I'll let you get to it today. Oh, you know what? I will share real quick, just because that's fun. I just want to show it to you for fun. Not quite ready yet. New website coming up. We're working on things, so things are coming along. As soon as I get the bot, like I said, as soon as I get the bot reconnected, I put this in notifications, but a bunch of invites might go out from the server. I'm not 100% sure how that's going to work since I'm transporting over. I had to move the bot to a new server, so it recognizes per server the way I have it set up. So moving to the new server, it won't have any of the old information stored, but I am going to connect it to the Paid Membership Pro, which is what we use for our memberships, which would have all your guys' previous info. It's not rebilling, but it has your previous info. So if you guys had active accounts, it'll just start sending out invites like crazy. I think I'll get that handled. But once we get it connected, I can start linking you guys to your accounts, and then we can start doing the SMS out of our Discord again. So thank you guys. Good luck today. If you need anything, I will be around. Like I said, I'm just working on the website. So DM me if you need something. We'll see you guys in the room. Smarter Options out.
On track, now we going way up.